Hello everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Kat. I'm a wife, a homeschool mom, and an avid reader. It is Sunday morning and the start of a new vlog. Today I am going to continue. I only read 3% of Before the Coffee Gets Cold. This is a story of a cafe that gives you the ability to time travel. The caveat is you return when your coffee gets cold. It does follow four little families, or four little stories. In this, you have the lovers, the husband and wife. Oops, wrong button. Mother and son. Sisters and mother and child. So the lovers, husband and wife, the sisters, mother and child. This I'm kind of looking forward to. Kind of's the wrong word. I'm really looking forward to this one. I had a huge surprise. My husband saw a book. The Cat Who Saved Books. And the cover was adorable. And so it was a cover buy. It also, like When the Coffee Gets Cold, was a Japanese story or novel written by a Japanese gentleman who then had it translated into English. And I have found, or at least with these two, that many of the Japanese novels, at least the ones that have gotten translated, are kind of these sweet stories. And so I'm going to read this, drink my coffee. Normally I would go to church today, but my daughter woke up during the early morning hours yesterday, coughing really, really badly. And mom brain turned on, so I did not sleep well. And then last night, again, I did not sleep well because although she slept better, mom brain still engaged. And I was trying to listen to see how she was doing. So that kind of one ear open mom. So I have brewed another cup of coffee, or another pot of coffee today, and I'm just going to stick close to home, partially to make sure that she's okay and taking her meds, and partially to protect anyone from getting our germs in case if I'm in that incubation phase, which tends to be when you're the most you're the most contagious before you even show symptoms. So we're gonna chill at home. We're gonna see how it goes, and I will check in later. So I just finished the first story in Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It definitely is a super sweet story. Very sweet story. The cafe is quite interesting. There are all these rules that come into place. So there's a lot of pieces and parts to it. I really enjoyed the first one. The first story is a woman and her boyfriend visit the cafe, and he's decided to move to America to fulfill his dreams of working for a specific company. And she returns to the cafe a week later after he's broken up with her and left. And she wants to go back and change things. She wants to tell him not to go. The way the author just weaves everything in is really neat. And I've really enjoyed it. So I'm going to jump ahead to the next one. It's husband and wife. The first one was the lovers. So I'm assuming this one obviously is a husband and a wife. And we'll just have to see how it goes. So I just finished husband and wife. That one was so sweet and so heartbreaking. We find out a little about Fusagi, who is always in the shop. He's the husband in this. And it is such a sweet story. Very heartbreaking though. So that's all I'm gonna say on that one. And chapter 3 is the sisters. So I'm gonna keep going and check in later. Hello everyone. So I have finished Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I loved this book. All 4 of the stories do kind of happen one after the other. All in 1 year. And it's really neat to see how everything comes together in the end. One of the quotes that the book has from an article written about this this cafe, the urban legend of this cafe, says, "At the end of the day, whether one returns to the past or travels to the future, the present does not change. So it raises the question, just what is the point of that chair?" And I read that even though it's on the last page, because it's not a spoiler. Like, you see it in the beginning, when one of the characters visits, and or when she sees the article, this question's there, and you have one perspective at the beginning of the book, and you have a very different perspective at the end of the book, and it is just wonderful. It is amazing. I am definitely giving this book 5 stars. I really had a great time with it, and so many feelings. I did not really update after the 3rd one because I fell asleep. I finished that one and took a little nap. But there's so many feelings in this book. And it's just amazing. And I hope that you'll give it a shot. It definitely has those magical realistic moments. But it's really a neat concept. And so that was Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I could definitely see myself being one who tried to visit this cafe. That just leads me to my next book. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go thriller or romance. I have Good Morning Love, and I have I keep wanting to say the title of the book I already read. Flicker in the Dark. And so I'm kind of debating between the two. It's more of, do I want to read on my Kindle or do I want to read a physical book? I think I might go on ahead and do Flicker in the Dark, because after I just have one more physical copy of books this month, without having to go to the library again. And I have I guess I'm almost done. I'm looking at my list here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, itchy finger. I have 4 ebooks and 1 physical book left for the month. And it's the 20th. I might actually get this. I might actually get my TBR completed. That would be awesome. Alright, well, I'm going to get started on A Flicker in the Dark. This one is a thriller. Let's see if I can get a little bit of background. Okay, so this is the one where we have the character who, when she's a teenage, or when she's 12, 6 teenagers in her area go missing, and her father confesses to the crimes and is spending a jail sentence. Then she goes back 20 years later and things start happening again. So I'm going to get started on this and check in later. Hello everyone. So I've just finished chapter 6. I'm 13% in to A Flicker in the Dark. And I get this feeling that the fiance is a copycat, or in league with her dad in somehow. He's just kind of suspicious, I guess. He throws a surprise party for her and has like all the lights off. She's scared of the dark. Or what's in the dark, I guess I should say. It seems very questionable, some of his choices he's making. Yeah, I'm struggling with this one just a little bit. Sorry, I have an ant problem also in my office, and I felt I was getting bit. But yeah, so he goes away. He's a pharmaceutical rep, so he goes away on all these trips. He comes home, throws this party for her, and then the next morning leaves. And they're having their wedding in a space she's not very comfortable with. Like, it reminds her of growing up. And they're having it in July, which is when people started missing, or these girls started going missing 20 years ago. So there are just these little iffy moments where I'm like, really? This is what we're doing? So currently I'm suspecting Daniel, but I'm probably way off, and everything up to this point has just been a red herring. But we shall see. Hello everyone. So I am now 12 chapters done through A Flicker in the Dark. We're at chapter 13, 27%. And I have no idea how Chloe does it. She, of course, had connection with the 6 girls who died when she was 12. And now the pattern's repeating, and one of them was her patient. Yeah, I would probably lock myself in a room and not come out. I can definitely relate with her mom, and that life ending, or the world ending for you. Her mom has has been committed into like a hospital situation. The things that are happening are very bizarre. When I first read the synopsis, I kind of wondered in the back of my mind if it was possible that her dad was actually covering for her, and that she had somehow done the murders. But again, 12-year-olds murdering 15-year-olds, that might be a little bit of a stretch. But then we find out about Daniel's sister also disappearing this summer, that Chloe was 12, with all the Purdue Bridge girls, and yeah, it's a lot. I still suspect Daniel. I don't know exactly why. Like, I can't pinpoint why. We've had the first body found from the first girl's gone missing, and then just found out Lainey's gone missing now. And again, Daniel's out of town, and so it's kind of suspicious. So I don't know. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep reading this next chapter. Looks like it goes over the second girl that her dad killed, and who she was. So I guess as the story progresses, we kind of end up with this dual timeline. We get what happened when her dad committed the murders, and then what's going on now. We'll just see how it goes. I am fully enjoying this. I am very enthralled into it. But it's a lot going on. So I'm gonna get back to reading, and I will check in later. Hello everyone. So I have just finished chapter 18, 38% through the book. And we have Aaron Juskin? Aaron J. He's the reporter. I can't remember his last name. He's come onto the scene full force, and basically has told Chloe he thinks that these are copycat murders. And part of me is kind of wondering, based on some of the things he said, if he's not involved. Daniel still currently seems the more likely suspect, just because he's been out of town. But I don't know. Lacey's body has now been found behind her office, and things are not looking good. Adjust that. Lacey's body has been found in an alleyway, and Chloe has been called to come not identify the body, because her mother already has identified it, but to see if she notices any differences between Lacey leaving the office. I'm gonna keep reading and see where this goes. I am really, again, still enjoying this. I'm very invested in the story, and I'm ready to find out what goes on next. Good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning. I got to 71% last night, chapter 35. And finishing chapter 30 was tough. Not because of the material, but I was literally falling asleep while reading it. It was after midnight. So I just closed the book and turned off my Kindle and went to bed. There's a lot going on between the last time that I updated and now. But I'm trying to be very careful with spoilers, because not everyone has read this. I just wanted to give some of my impressions and what I was thinking as I was reading it. Clues have been found, and after updating the last time, things really, really picked up. It's just bam, 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 bam. And you're going, what in the world? It's been a long time since I've read a book that the last 70% of the book is just back-to-back revelations. And so this one, Stacey Willingham has done amazing. I did enjoy All Things Dark, All Dark Things. I have it here. What is it? Droop. All the Dangerous Things. That one was really good. That one left me kind of guessing through the whole thing. And kind of having this revolving suspect list. I don't have that same feeling in this one. And it's very unsettling, because as I'm reading, I am almost expecting the end to totally make me go, holy crap, how did I miss that? So I'm just kind of continuing through. I'm gonna finish this last 30% this morning, and then I will check in at the end of the book, because I know I'm not going to want to stop reading to enlighten you guys on thoughts that haven't changed without giving spoilers. So This was an amazing one. But I'm going to keep reading and I'll check in at the end. Hello everyone. So I just finished A Flicker in the Dark. Oh my goodness. So that was an interesting read. Yeah, there was so much going on. Very interesting. I can't, without there being spoilers, I can't say too much. Other than I had a great time with Flicker in the Dark. Stacey Willingham knows how to write a book. Sometimes when I discover an author and then read some of their backlist after reading their newest book, I struggle with it. Her debut novel, though, A Flicker in the Dark, is amazing. I had such a good time with that one. And I still have positive feelings about All the Dangerous Things. Yeah, that was a ride. If you like thriller, you should really read A Flicker in the Dark. There's a lot going There's a lot going on in that one. And like I said, I got to 37% or whatever, and I couldn't put it down after that. The only reason I did was because I was literally going to sleep. Yeah, that book was amazing. You definitely, if you start it early enough in the day, you could finish it in a day. Great book. Yeah. So that leaves what's next. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that one out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue doing an ebook or if I'm gonna switch to a physical book. We're just gonna have to kind of play it by ear and see. Yeah. And finishing 2 books in 2 days really, really blows my mind. I know that my next 2 audiobooks I'm going to have to be careful with, or my next 2 ebooks, not audiobooks, I'm gonna have to be careful with because I need them to fit prompts. As far as being a specific prompt, the 2 prompts that I have left are changing place every time I read, or every time I open it, and then the other is to read it without my feet touching the ground. So I have 3 audiobooks, or 3 ebooks to choose from, and 2 prompts to make it work. We're just gonna kind of have to see how it goes. Changing place probably is going. There are downsides that could come with the place changing. And that's the fact that some days I get interrupted during reading a lot more than others. And there are only so many places that I can read in my house. We're just gonna go with it. Yeah. So, I don't know if I'm going to do Indigo Ridge or a Trial of Sorcery. I think it's the Book Club Unlimited one. Or Red Sister. We're just going to see. I don't know that I'm going to do Red Sister yet, truthfully. I think I might go on ahead and do the Literature Book Club Indigo Ridge and just have a palate cleanser. Reading all of these horror thrillers kind of back to back has been a lot. So I am going to actually go make breakfast now. So I will check in later. Hello everyone. Hopefully the lighting looks okay. I am getting ready to start my next book. It is Monday afternoon. I have done the shopping and everything else. The only things I have left is that I do... So, let me move this way. I do need to make dinner in a little bit, but that's okay. My plan is to get started on my next book. I went ahead. I went ahead and chose A Trial of Sorcerers. This is by Elise Kova. This is a YA fantasy. Sounds like it's a game or tournament type book. We have our main character, Ira. She's 18 years old, lives her life in the shadows, particularly the shadow of her older brother. And for her whole apprenticeship time, she's been the most unwanted apprentice in the Tower of Sorcerers until the day she decides to step out and compete for a spot in the Tournament of the Five Kingdoms. This is a tournament that they have to be one of the 4 champions. And this is all the best sorcerers in the Empire are competing against each other. So I am going to read this one. This one claims that if you like The Legend of Korra, or if you like I just had it because it was one of my favorite books the year I read it. Where is it? Trial of Sorcerers. Sorcery of Thorns. There it is. Perfect for fans of The Legend of Korra, Truth Witch, and A Sorcery of Thorns. I haven't read Truth Witch, but my daughter and I really enjoyed Legend of Korra. And then I loved Sorcery of Thorns. So I am going to jump into this with my feet in the air. I have them kicked up in my recliner, so they are not on the floor or the ground. And I'm going to get reading. I'll check in later. Good morning, everyone. It is, what day is it? Tuesday morning. put my hair in heatless curl, or did heatless curls last night. I haven't taken them out yet, but that's fine. I am reading A Trial of Sorcerers. This one I started a little bit yesterday, but then I fell asleep and woke up and it was dinner time, and then after dinner I didn't really feel like cooking. Alexa, turn on fan. Let's get some light in here. Right now I have some crustless quiche in the oven, cooking. I'm gonna have those for breakfasts the rest of the week. And then my daughter is in the school area doing her schoolwork, working on her paper right now for English. I think I'm gonna read a little this morning. So far I am 4% in, so I haven't really read a whole lot of Trial of Sorcerers. So far it's fine. I don't really have any thoughts one way or the other yet. I'm gonna start reading from where I'm at, but I might have to go back and start the book over, just because I was napping while reading it yesterday, and I don't really remember anything off the top of my head. So I'm gonna start reading, and I will check in later today. Hello everyone. So it is Tuesday night. This morning I didn't get any reading done. I honestly didn't get any reading done until I went and got my shots. And I wasn't thinking about it when I went and got my shots. So I have to change which prompt I'm using it for. I am using the A Trial of Sorcerers for a different spot each time. So I have read today in my office on the floor. I've read in my room. I read at the doctor's office today. I was going to keep reading in my room for a while, but I had to get up and deal with my kid. And the rule is every time you close the book. So I have sprints on right now. I am 27% into A Trial of Sorcerers. This one, we have our main character, Ira. And Ira did something 3 years ago, and it ended up in a student dying. I have no idea what she did, but because of that, her brother has become her keeper. And he waited on graduating and stayed an extra year, or has done an extra year to keep an eye on her. Well, enter in this tournament for sorcerers, and only 4 won from each affinity from their continent, island, whatever it is, gets to go. And so she is competing against her brother. Now, her family knew she would be competing against her brother, so they really encouraged her not to even sign up for this competition. And she does anyway. And I see her reasoning to a certain degree. She wants to break out from her brother's shadow, not just to get out of her brother's shadow, but also so that he can live his life even the brother's friend who Ira doesn't like, the best friend tells Marcus, the brother, that he's holding his life back for his sister. And Ira sees this, and she's really wanting to give her brother the life he wants, as well as giving herself the life she wants. So currently, we have just finished, Ira has just finished the first trial in 10 minutes out of the hour. And her family are all pushing her, drop out. And her brother comes to her to tell her the same before the first trial, and she explains to him, this is why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for me or only for me. I'm doing it for you too. And from there, he basically goes, okay, well, you can do this first trial, and then we'll decide when you need to bow out. So there's a lot of this trying to maneuver her. She is 18. I believe her brother is 21. I just got a foot cramp, sorry. And her, like I said, her family is very protective of her after this mistake she made. So I'm going to get back into it. I do have some fantasy ambience on right now, and I'm hoping to get another decent chunk done in this. But we'll see how it goes. Hello everyone, it is 9 o'clock on Wednesday night. It has been a long day and 0 reading has been done. I actually switched chairs for tonight. Sorry, I'm getting emails. Switched chairs for tonight since my prompt is to sit in a different place each time you read the book. And last night I was sitting in my chair, so I moved to my daughter's chair. Also, it's not brushing up against my shot sites. I got allergy shots done yesterday, and she told me that we're getting up there. I'm almost to the 3rd vial, which is the highest set. So it's going to be one that is going to be a little more painful now, and swollen and all that fun stuff. So I am going to sit here, read, and truthfully, I don't think I'm going to get much reading done tonight because I am tired. I'm trying to think through my thing. I was going to try to do a book every 2 days, and so that I could finish strong. I have just over a week left, and I have 1, 2, 3 books that 3 prompts that I have to fill. And then I kind of want to do the one of the side quests. So we'll see how it goes. For now, I'm gonna finish or I'm going to read some of, I just went blank, A Trial of Sorcerers. So I will check in later. Hello everyone, it is Friday. My Thursday was spent mostly at a staff meeting along with CPR training, and then to the barn. And honestly, I didn't read very much yesterday. I read about 15% of A Trial of Sorcerers. I am currently at 80% right now. I'm really enjoying this book. And we've kind of hit this point that is kind of reminiscent of... So I'm at a point where I am really enjoying what's going on in the book because there are parts that remind me of growing up with siblings, and especially male siblings. Sorry, I'm trying to put batteries in the charger. Male female siblings just have a different, like my little sister Lauren and I have a very different relationship than from what my brother and I had, and that is completely fine. But there are moments where I kind of miss the sibling teasing and things like that we're seeing in A Trial of Sorcerers, and so it's kind of neat. I'm really enjoying it, like I said, and I'm gonna turn on sprints. G is doing some sprints today to help everyone kind of find a little motivation to get done, and then I'm gonna read and go from there. I was looking at my list. I only have 2 more books that I have to read after I finish Trial of Sorcerers. So I'm really excited, and I'm gonna finish this before next Thursday. So I better get reading to get that done though. So I'll check in later. Hello everyone! So I have just finished A Trial of Sorcerers. This one was a lot of fun. I had a little bit of a rocky start with it, only because I think of what was going on around me. I was getting ready for training. I was getting ready for, all the things that are going on. But I am going to jump into Good Morning Love. This one is the one that is about songwriter Carly. She wants to make it in the music industry, and she meets a guy who the book describes as reminiscent of Usher. So I'm gonna jump in. This should be a pretty light read. It is a romance, so I'm gonna go with it, and I will check in later. Good morning everyone. It is Saturday. I'm almost 4 chapters in to Good Morning Love. This one's gonna be interesting for me. The author does amazing at capturing the accents of these characters, and kind of how, like, you can hear them talking when you read it, or at least I can. But it is definitely reminding me of how Anglo-Saxon churchy my language is. There's so much going on, and I'm going, what? There are parts that remind me of when I first moved to the South. I was asked by like a 10-year-old if I was grown. Now, I'm 15, almost 16, so at that point I knew I wasn't going to grow very much. So I'm like, yeah, and he's like, you ain't grown, and all of this. But a lot of that was differences in just the way we talk. And so I'm catching a lot of these things where I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is what they're saying. And now that I've lived in the South, and around so many different cultures, I kind of can figure out the context. But it definitely is an interesting kind of feel in this book. So far we have Carly. She is a songwriter and wants to make it big. And she lives in New York. And this artist, Tao, has come into New York, and her company that she works for is trying to sign some deal with him. And so at the concert, she has an interaction with him, and he basically goes, how can I get your number? And it's a very interesting kind of dynamic going on. I am going to jump back into the book because, like, so far it's all been the early setup. So I don't know for sure how I will like it, but I just wanted to kind of document my reminder of how white I am, and how often I miss some of these words that have a double meaning. I misunderstand what's being said. So I will check in later. Hello everyone. It is Tuesday morning at 10:30. Yeah, 10:30. I am about halfway into Good Morning Love. I didn't update the last 2 days just because I didn't feel like getting on. I honestly have been having a little bit of a lack of motivation to read this book. I'm not enjoying the book, but I'm also not enjoying it as much as I thought I would. Normally rom-coms are like fly through books, and it's just not happening. So I'm gonna try to read some today. Hopefully I'll get it done. But we'll just kind of see. We are at a day of dreariness. Here in South Carolina, we are kind of preparing for Hurricane Idalia to make landfall in Florida and then kind of slowly work its way up the coast after it crosses the Panhandle. So that's just where life is at right now. But we've gotten a few little rain bands that have come up from the very, 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 very outside of this storm. We haven't even hit the main rain bands of the storm. Just kind of one of those outliers. So it's kind of dreary. And it's perfect reading weather. So hopefully I will knock this out and go from there. But I do have my coffee and I have sprints, so I'm gonna get started and I'll check in soon. Hello everyone. So I have just finished Good Morning Love. It's almost 10 o'clock on Tuesday night. Our week might be a little unraveled. Hurricane Idalia is coming through. Right now the hurricane is in the Gulf down by southern Florida. And should make landfall tomorrow sometime and then come across Georgia and up to us. And things are starting to get canceled due to flooding and things that we're expecting. We are definitely expecting flash flooding. So things just have gotten changed. We went to the barn today. My daughter did her lesson a day early, along with all the kids. And then our instructor has said she'll have the barn open if any of the kids want to come and hang out, since the schools will be closed on Thursday. So again, we're just going to kind of play it by ear to find out what we're going to do. But my plan is now I'm going to start Indigo Ridge. And this one is by Devney Perry. From what I remember of this one, it's a it is a contemporary mystery romance. Oh, okay, so we have the new chief of police has been a girl has moved to a new city to be chief of police, and she has to basically get approval from the Eden family. Until they support her, she's gonna have no support at all. The town's not really gonna pay attention to her. So I have this on my Kindle, and this is the last book that I have to read for my Magical Readathon. And for this one, this is the prompt where my feet have to stay off the ground while I am reading. So, sorry, I had cat hair on the camera. That shouldn't be too hard so long as I stay in one of my recliners or in bed. Which I don't see that being a problem the next couple of days because it's going to be rainy and gross. So, I'm going to get started reading, and I will check in probably tomorrow. Hello everyone. So it is Wednesday night. The worst of the hurricane has passed us. We may get a few more bands of rain tonight, a few more bands of wind come through, but nothing serious. It's down to a tropical storm and on its way back out to the ocean. I am 26% into Indigo Ridge. This one is kind of interesting. We have the mayor's granddaughter is brought in to be the chief of police, and he basically hires her even knowing that the town is going to be really standoffish until the Eden family puts their stamp of approval on her. Well, less than a week into her being there, one of the characters finds another character at the bottom of Indigo Ridge. This is the mountains on one of the Eden's properties. And this has been a common spot in the last few years that 20-somethings go and commit suicide there. And so most of the town is assuming that that's what's going on here. And when our main character, the police chief, something's not sitting right with her about all of this. And she's looking into it more, and there have been 7 suicides in the last 10 years. The majority of them have been women. But the difference that we have, the big difference that I'm seeing that we have with Lily is, unlike the others, there's no note, at least as of yet. So I'm going to keep reading with my feet up to fulfill this prompt. And it's going to be an interesting one. Tomorrow morning, my morning's going to be a little wonky, mostly because we have our student assembly tomorrow along with Meet the Teacher. This just gives our middle and high schoolers a chance to hear the rules, because we do hold them accountable for following the rules. And then oh, I totally went blank for a second. And then for the first time, we are opening our doors up for our 1st through 5th graders to be able to come in and meet the teachers, especially for our new kiddos. I teach a lot of 1st and 2nd graders, so like I'm looking at my list, and a majority of my students I don't know. So seeing them tomorrow will be the first time that I'm meeting the students. I've met a lot of their parents already during the summer break. So we're going to do that, and hopefully we have a good show out. This is because of the hurricane. It was unsure if we were even going to do this until about 2-3 hours ago. So we're going to just go with it and try to pull things together for tomorrow. and hope for the best, because we've told parents that it's not required, unlike in years previous with the middle school and high schoolers, due to the weather, and that every family should make the decision that's best for their family. So it's going to be a earlier morning tomorrow. My plan is to leave here about 9:30, so it gives me a little time to get ready without having to get up at 6 a.m., which is next week. I'm not looking forward to early mornings. But I'm going to read probably for about another 30 minutes before I go on ahead and get ready for bed. So, I will check in tomorrow. Good morning, friends. So, it's Saturday morning. I have had a busy end to the week. Thursday morning we had assembly, then came home and my daughter did her schoolwork, and we turned around and went back to the barn, or went out to the barn. And then Friday we had summit, and afterward I was exhausted. Summit is a trampoline park where we kind of get the kids together outside of our co-op so that they can continue to build community, but not during class time. And the kids have a great time jumping, and as parents we get to have community amongst each other. But as an introvert, I get exhausted after it. I enjoy getting to know the parents and chatting with them, but afterward I am tired. And so I kind of came home and vegged out. I didn't do a lot of reading yesterday during the day, but then in the evening, after my daughter went to bed, I did finish Indigo Ridge. So I have completed all that I needed to. I was at 86% Thursday night when I went to bed, and so I had less than 10% left of the book, because there's a sneak peek to the next book. So I am counting it as done. I had a great time with this readathon, and I am now officially a novice, or first year. Finished my first year as a shapeshifter. So yeah, this is fun. I'm gonna have a good time with this. I think next year I'll continue the shapeshifter and kind of build myself up and go from there. I've kind of gone blank. So Indigo Ridge, I really enjoyed it. I will definitely give it a high 4 stars, probably 4.75. My only, well, and even that's not a fair complaint. I came into this kind of expecting more of a that it was going to be, after the one night stand, it was going to be this battle kind of between the two, and Griff and Win. That there was going to be this battle between them over this relationship. Because she's trying to kind of get her life started. And when I read the synopsis, I thought that it was going to be this, like the Edens didn't want her there. And so when he found out that she was the new chief, and she found out he was one of the Edens, that there was going to be this tension between them. And there never really was. The only kind of tension that we do see between them at the very beginning is neither one wants a relationship. And so they just kind of are having fun. And that's fine. I just wish that the synopsis kind of portrayed that better. The mystery in this was great. It is more... It is a little more focused on their romance, and the mystery kind of takes a back seat to it. But even with that, you kind of have this mystery of her trying to figure out what's gone wrong. There's not a lot of police procedural aspect to it, other than she's a chief of police. So I had a lot of fun with this. I was a little surprised at the end with the whodunit reveal. But again, the mystery of this, what was going on, was not the big driving point in the story. So, will I continue the Edens? Maybe. I enjoyed Devaney Perry's writing, had a great time with it, but all the Eden books are kind of these romance standalones in a town. And it follows the Eden brothers, so probably a little bit like Saint and Sinner and Priest, where they have that aspect of you're going to get snippets into everyone's lives. But this one, like, I enjoyed the part I read. And it wraps it up really well. I don't know that I will have the same desire to continue the series that I did with Priest and Following. It is one that I think I will keep on my possibility list for, like, Smutden. Because it has a lot of those, they tend to have a lot of those light romance tropes that are on the wheels that Cass does. So I am going to stop rambling, and I am going to end this vlog here. I hope that if you were part of the Magical Readathon, that you had a great time. If you watched these all the way through, I hope that my insight told you whether a book would be a good fit for you or not. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.